Hello, beautiful people. This is Serval, and I'm going to tell y'all about how my right arm grew to be longer than my left arm. But before we start, please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you know when I make a new video. Well, let's get started. This story takes place when I was in third grade, so I was around 8 years old. My brothers and I had begged our parents to get us a trampoline. Mainly because I had talked to my friend about her fun review of trampolines, which I told my brothers about many times. This meant we mercilessly annoyed our parents until they got us one and put it in the backyard. We were so excited when it was set up that we would jump on it constantly, but during the summer, when we didn't want to go outside, we would all sit under the trampoline for shade while reciting the movie Moana. I really loved Moana. It was our favorite movie for a while, and we watched it almost daily for months after it came out to Blu-ray. So one day in April, we had finished our homework and decided to go outside and play on the trampoline. So we were jumping around, having fun, when my little brother saw a big bug that he thought might be a bee or a wasp. Keep in mind, we were young, so we were terrified of bugs. I didn't see it, but once my brother started unzipping the net and getting out, I began to panic. So, being the last one out, I went a bit too fast, especially since I have zero balance. So, my foot caught the blue padding on the rim of the trampoline, causing me to fall. Because we were so short, we had a 2-step stool leading up to the trampoline, but it certainly didn't help in this situation. As I fell, my left elbow hit the stool before hitting the ground hard. I screamed and held my arm and stomping my feet on the ground. This was the loudest I've ever screamed in my entire life. I really feel bad for my mom's ears. So this got the attention of my mom, who was doing some college work. She immediately came out and asked if I was okay. I was crying and I said, "I think it's broken." No shit. My mom said that she would get me some ice and call my dad to drive me to the ER. But he was at work, so I needed to wait 20 minutes for him to come home. I was with my mom holding some ice up to my elbow and sitting on my parents' bed. I kept asking my mom, "Is Dad here yet?" To which she would respond with, "He'll be here as fast as possible." I mean, she wasn't lying. Her saying that didn't help much, though. I wanted him to be home that instant. After a long 20 minutes, my dad arrived and took me to the ER. On the way there, I was still quietly crying, but my dad wasn't having a good day because we got every single red light possible on our way to the hospital. So when we arrived, I sat next to him in a chair after he signed me in, and to help keep me calm, he decided to go onto YouTube and turn on Kids React and Mishka the Talking Husky. After what felt like hours, I got taken back to get an x-ray. This was way more painful than I expected. They needed my hand and arm in 2 positions. So, for the first one, I was able to keep my arm bent, but for the second one, my arm needed to be straight. Oh my god, this was so painful. The doctor slowly straightened my arm and I began crying loudly while resisting the urge to bend my arm again, which it was very hard to not bend my arm. I got a cast and the doctor told us that I had broken my arm, but it wasn't some small fracture. No. I had broken my growth plate. So it was just floating in some random part of my arm. They told us that they weren't able to give me the surgery I needed, so they told us to go to a different hospital the next day. So we left and I slept with my arm resting on a pillow because I couldn't really do much to help. I didn't get much sleep that night because of the pain, obviously, but the next morning we went to the hospital we were referred to, but a problem arose when we saw the doctor there. He had never done a surgery like this before, and they couldn't help us. So they sent us to OU Children's. There I was able to get my surgery. They told me that they would be putting pins, like metal pins, into my arm. And the reason why they were putting pins into my arm was so they could secure my growth plate in the correct place. Then I would come back for the pins to get removed. The day of the surgery, my elbow was aching and my dad got me a cookie with some apple juice. That day sucked because when I was home, I went to the bathroom and I accidentally hit my injured arm on the doorway. It sent pain shooting up to my hands and my shoulder, but at least I was able to play some Hyrule Warriors while recovering from surgery. I had broken my arm on a Monday and got the surgery on Wednesday, so I had the entire week out of school. So now we're going to talk about what it was like going back. So I went back to school the next week. My teacher told me that she hopes I'd get better soon. But here's the good part. The kids said that they thought I was dead. I shouldn't have been surprised because in 3rd grade someone would only be absent for 1 or 2 days, not a whole frickin' week. A few months later, I went in for the second surgery where they would remove my pins. It was a shorter surgery, so they gave me less anesthesia. I remember waking up in a dark room with The Amazing World of Gumball playing on the TV in front of me. I had never seen the show before, so I was curious. I didn't like it. Anyway, before I was taken home, they gave me the pins they took out of my arm with a small, frozen Ziploc bag that said Sisters Forever with a picture of Anna and Elsa on the corner. It was strange seeing something that was in my body next to an image of my favorite Disney characters. After my surgery, I had some mild physical therapy exercises I was supposed to do every day. So basically, I was told to straighten my arm as much as comfortable and then bend it back. After a few months of this, I was able to use my left arm again and had a scar on my elbow. It's a pretty big scar. I had 2 stuffed animal wolves I got from the hospital that I would sleep with every night. Because for each of my surgeries, they gave me a small stuffed animal wolf as a get well present. I don't know. The part that my mom finds funny is that because my growth plate in my left arm wasn't working for months, my left arm is now shorter than my right. It's kind of awkward, like when I was in PE and they told us to reach down and touch our toes, only my right hand could reach it, because the left one's too short. Well, now you know about the time when I broke my arm. Fortunately, I've never broken any more bones, so now I just have some uneven arms. I remember when my dad told me that he broke his middle finger, and his index finger and middle finger were in the cast together so that he wasn't always flipping people off. I find that funny. Anyway, comment down below if you have had any broken bones. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.